Right. Here we go. Ready for the first match of the final top 3.
So let's describe these characters first. Iris's ability is to dash. She dashes 6 squares, I believe. And it's a really quick dash, and she can do it 2 times before her ability recharge kicks in on the 3rd. Ronin's ability, he has a sword. He can slash shots or the other players themselves. If he slashes a shot, he gains a power shot. What a power shot does is travel. It's a shot that has 2 hit points. So that means if 2 shots are going at each other, his shot will travel through, or he can shoot through a bush or something else.
All right, Edward Snowden.
Right, and if Ronin slashes a player, the player will be stunned away momentarily, and they will be walking. They'll be bleeding and walking at half speed for 2 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, it's a little longer than that. And also he gets 2 charges from hitting the player as well.
Yeah, he can also pick up those glass barriers with his slash as well.
So this map is sort of similar to the Thicket on the fact that it's hard to be very sneaky.
Yep.
And middle is where you want to be because there's only 1 power-up spawn.
They were in a blast barrier duel right there. And they were trying to time their shots, hoping that one of them would hit the blast barrier and the other person's shot would travel through.
You know, and Ronin is actually one of the best at doing...
Oh, slash. I assume he probably meant to.
Ronin... I mean, what I was going to say is Ronin is, one of the best at doing blast barrier duels on the fact that he can just get up some charges and sort of just dominate with his power shots. So, therefore, you can't really be in the same lane as him.
So what I think Ronin was trying to do there was step down and then slash up to absorb the shot, which means he would have 2 power shots. So next time he steps up and they both shoot, it would travel through Iris's shot and have a chance to kill him.
Shotty made an excellent point. Let's make a note that Ronin is actually Samurai Punk mascot.
Yeah, that's right. So Samurai Punk made another Invisible game. It's called... Screen Sheet.
Yes, and it's a very good game.
It's another game based with the core mechanic being invisibility of all the characters. A lot of people think that they're trash talking Invisigun when they say, "Oh, it's just Screen Sheet," but they don't realize that. Oh, another good kill for Scaltra. They don't realize that that Screen Sheet actually very graciously backed the Kickstarter for Invisigun at
the hero level or whatever it was called.
$1,500. They donated a huge amount of money to the game to help it to help it along its way, and they got to contribute a character to the.
And Ronin is a very flavorful character. Hopefully, we'll get to see his victory stance at some point. It's very cool.
At most of the conventions that we take this game to, almost always the kids who play choose Ronin every time. Oh, that's a perfect blast barrier duel right there. So what happened there, watch it in slow-mo. Can you slow it down on this replay? So what happens there is Ronin shoots the blast barrier first, and Scaltra's shot travels through because he shot too early.
Yeah, he shot over, I can't fault him for that with 170 ping. It's a very 187. It's a very unfortunate thing. But honestly, I think he is really hanging in there. Getting those blast barriers timing with that kind of ping, very impressive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to avoid that game if I were him, just because of the ping.
You gotta do some aggressive sneaky game on high ping. That's
definitely not his game though.
Definitely not.
Klops really likes the.
I think he's sort of real. Oh.
There, you got a kill. Phew. No sweep. Nice kill.
It's pretty easy also to get a little overconfident right there. Scaltra thinking he can own this map, and look at that lovely victory pose with that sword. Like I'm talking about.
Jay and Garish are both pointing out in the chat here that Scaltra is very good at the blast barrier battles and spent a lot of time practicing them. So he's gotten very good at it. It seems like what they're doing, those little blast barrier battles, are kind of nothing, but they're hard to time perfectly.
Yeah, it's like a footsies in a fighting game. easy to slip up. Also, it's easy to gain an advantage. Like if one of you slips up, it could even lead to death.
Yep.
Scaltra in a great position to get that, but Clops is just saying no. Oh, the bait.
Well, resistance is going to be tough, and it didn't even matter. 4-1 Scaltra right now. So if Clops manages to get 4 straight wins, he wins. If Scaltra gets 1 win, the match is over. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. We probably won't see an epi in this. People in the chat are talking about epi. We probably won't see an epi in this tournament. Epi is
none of the top players like epi.
Because they're all aggressive, like FPS players who get rid of Invisigun.
I am a very aggressive player in Invisigun, and I love epi. So,
that's true.
You're not in the match.
Style. Oh, I'm dumb. You are waiting on me, aren't you?
Waiting on you.
Is it the same join code?
No, I typed it.
Okay.
972B72. All the top players are wrong. Yes. Epi.
I love it. Oh, am I joining? There we go. Yeah. Sorry, right. I didn't mean that all the top. I meant the players remaining in the tournament. That's what I meant by top players are the players remaining in the tournament. I consider myself a top player. I love Epi, and Garish definitely a top player, but hasn't been playing Invisigun enough lately.
All right, hyping the Invisigun Discord. If all of you aren't a part of our Discord, the link is below in my profile, where all of this amazing, fun Invisigun games happen.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet for a minute because I'm responding to a bunch of texts from people trying to watch it.
All right. So remember, folks, it is 4 wins and 1. Okay, well there we go. That was a very quick swing and a miss.
Oh, that's no good. Dang, I would have thought that would have got collected, actually.
So we can either have
it's over. We just quit.
Yeah.
Just quit.
All right, I'm gonna restart.
A whole lot of fuss for not allowing.
All right. Now I have to remake with Plutonium Pass.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it fair here on our tournament.
Totally. Yeah. We want it to be fair and square.
Fair and square. Okay, 5 wins.
Think it was fair. I used to think the expression was fair in square when I was a kid. Interesting fact about me as a child. 99B. Dang, I like that.
I know, I'm getting some really awesome codes.
Yeah.
Shout out to those 6 digits. It used to be a lot more.
Shout out to Hex.
Yeah. Hexadecimal.
Hexadecimal is a good band name.
I'm sure that there is the Hexadecimal band.
Yeah, I saw Hexadecimal in concert the other week. They opened for Hoobastank. It was a pretty good show. I think I'll be Phoebe. Just kidding.
Yeah, double dubs. Shout outs to 4chan for their dubs, whatever. All right. So here we are.
Clops is still in voice chat. He's in there with Goots and Garish. So I that feels distracting to me.
And you're in our match, Danny.
I am, right?
All right, here we go.
All right, round two. Fight.
Plutonium Pass. This map usually ends into a lot of long firefights. It's very hard to sneak with teleporters. It's also very easy to dominate both of the power-ups. The power-ups spawning right next to the farthest right and furthest left teleporter. I think Scaltra is just letting Clops figure out his positioning here.
Oh!
Very close.
Oh, he's
so
down.
so that's one of the common mistakes that people do. If you'll notice here, Clops will take a shot across, and then immediately after the shot, move down. You're not protected by your shot then, so that's how Scaltra could get that easy kill.
Yeah, it's very counterintuitive to shoot and stay in your spot, because it feels like when you reveal yourself, that's when you're most vulnerable. But when you shoot, if you know roughly what direction your opponent is in and you shoot a shot in that direction, you're actually safest by standing still. It feels vulnerable, but you're actually more safe.
Or in layman's term, he done goofed.
So in this match, Scaltra, who is red, who is Iris, is trying to actually stay on the opposite side from Carmen, because he's not really vulnerable to Carmen's blocks unless he's up close with them.
Ooh, dashing too early, not collecting that power up, but able to get both shot speeds. Very deadly, especially with the mobility of the dash. See, Scaltra being very calm right there and not moving when there's a lot of shots going.
Ooh. Scaltra's playing the runaway game, which is smart.
Yes, very smart.
Clops
you want
probably gonna get it. Clops, who is Carmen, who's blue, is gonna probably get annoyed and get too aggressive.
I definitely see that. Double revealer on the map.
So when a player picks up revealer, obviously what happens is one player gets, whoever picks up the revealer, all the other players on the map are revealed at that time. So right now, I should also point out, anyone who is not super familiar with the game, this is a 1v1 tournament, but generally it's a 4-player game. Usually it's survival of the fittest, essentially. Like, it's 4 players and the last player remaining at the end of the round wins. Oh, double run speed for Scaltra.
Wow. Sometimes that can be a double-edged sword, because it becomes so much harder to control. It's a very. You notice how much he's bumping now, but definitely, Clops is playing a really good game right now.
He's
staying alive, not getting too worried that he's out. Ooh, I don't know what his plan was to do there. Able to knock off that shield though.
Whoa! What a close shot.
Not even worried that Scaltra is so stacked right now. Just playing very patient, which is definitely not his typical play
I
style.
predicted wrong here.
Ooh.
Oh, good shot by Scaltra.
That was actually very close.
Yeah.
If you mistime those peaks, it can be very detrimental to you.
When Ellie says mistime those peaks, what she means is they call it peeking when you sneak out from behind cover to take a shot. So Scaltra snuck out to the left to shoot up, which is essentially peeking out from behind the protected space that he was in before.
Ooh, there it is. Oh! What an escape. Typically, the response is not to... Oh, that's unfortunate.
I thought a block was going to be down.
Yeah. Typically, not the response is not to run away from shots, but to actually fire into the shot, so it protects you.
Yeah. Dang,
that was some teleporter mix-up right there.
The great escape.
Yeah. All right. Well,
3 out of 5 here. All right, Clops, overcome your ping. The force is with you. I believe in you. Yeah, that's true. Garrish has a good point saying Klops is being pretty safe, but Scaltra's map and power-up control is keeping him in the lead.
Yep.
Which is very true. Scaltra, another thing about him, the amount of time he's put into the game is that he knows the best strategy for each character on each map, in each matchup against every other character too.
I'm pretty sure he was trying to play a block right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is match point, game point. Yeah. Can
oh, come on, Klops. Come back.
Come back.
I'm putting my rally cap on.
Yeah.
I'm turning my hat around right now, putting it on.
He's definitely playing a good game. Not his best, but I can't fault him for the ping. Again,
nope.
It's dangerous. Yeah, he's got to take some risks here.
So what Scaltra just did right there by bumping into the block over and over again is if you bump a block 5 times, it takes the shine off it, which means it won't reflect the shot back at you. So it makes it not dangerous for him anymore. So he won't accidentally shoot a shot that deflects back. Oh, what's happening here? Who got what? So it looks like Scaltra somehow got both
double stacks. You know, that mobility really allows you to get those power-ups very easily. And like I said before, those teleporters, how they're placed, allows you a lot of map control of the power-ups.
Right there.
It's very confusing as the player to be in those situations because it's hard to listen and to be precise in those close quarter engagements. Expecting Scaltra to teleport right there, but not. Scaltra playing very safe with his silent steps. I don't know. He probably messed up his movement there, and that's why he bumped. Bumping again. Ooh, very risky play.
Oh, so close. The resistance saves Scaltra.
Scaltra gearing up to get the power-ups. Ooh.
Oh, double resistance, which does nothing.
Nope. That was actually Klops' first resistance.
No, he had resistance.
He had it before? Excellent.
Yeah, he picked it up. Oh, turn! Oh,
resistance.
Saved by resistance.
Saving.
Oh, this is a good match right here. This is fun. Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! Ah!
Wow, very risky shooting your own block twice. Power up spawning right first.
Is awful. I'm just screaming.
Yeah. The hype man over here.
Oh, God!
Yes! Excellent block.
Clutch block.
This is what's up.
Dang, that was great. Great match, Klops. If you watch this later, don't say I never said anything.
Great prediction. So, he definitely had to have predicted Scaltra to go back and fire.
Yep. Great. Oh wow, I got a bug on my screen. It looks like Scaltra. I mean, it looks like Klops is
inside the block.
No, visible.
Oh yeah.
While he's in his victory pose. Gotta mark it. Bug report. Oof. Scary.
Wow. Sometimes when your opponent is really aggressive like that, the best thing to do is just to run into them.
Oh!
Scaltra was definitely waiting.
Yeah, he was waiting, and Klops didn't know right where he was. So you'll see that Klops is invisible, just waiting right there. And as soon as Klops shows, he just
tries to lay a block right there on the Scaltra, and you can't lay blocks on other heroes.
But he didn't know he was standing there, so it was a smart play by Klops, but unfortunately he lost Scaltra in the mix and didn't know he was there. And he was better played by Scaltra. Great match. That was fun. The round right before that was sincerely entertaining.
Definitely showing these players off. Carmen was a good pick for the situation, and he did well.
Man, this is so fun. So this is really the first time we're using the spectator mode. So the spectator mode was built for streaming the game. So a lot of times when people stream this game, there have been a bunch of sort of big streamers and big YouTube players who have played this game, and they've loved it. They've had a blast while they're playing it. But the audience that is watching the game, only a small percentage of them seem to really like it. A lot of people are complaining that it's hard to understand what's going on, because if you're watching it without the spectator mode on, you will only see the players when they're visible. So you don't really know what everyone else is doing the entire time. It's hard to follow if you're not, if you don't play if you haven't played this particular game before, or if you just don't play a ton of video games, or even if you do, it's just hard to follow exactly what's going on. So, so Shoddy built a spectator mode to make it better for streamers. And I would say for me, I'm loving this. This is like paying dividends right here. Even if it doesn't end up selling a ton more games, I'm just, he's still building more and more of the perfect, amazing game. So people who care will love this game someday and throughout perpetuity.